Dispatching on the police radios is one of the most stressful things you can do as a 911 dispatcher. It can be way more hectic than any 911 call that you take. When you're on the phone with someone calling about someone involved in a vehicle collision or a theft or even someone shot, you're dedicated to that one single call. Nothing else is going on, and that call has your complete attention. Being on the radio, you don't have that luxury. You have multiple units, a lot of times several dozen, who all want something from you. Bits of information, they need you to do callbacks to find a better location for a caller or a suspect. You're running numbers for driver's license or tag info, and you're dispatching calls to other officers to get them on the way. And you're doing all of this, all of it, at the same time. Sometimes having to constantly talk and type while a headset is on one ear and a telephone's on the other. Once you add in a large-scale incident, everyone is running emergency and wanting the info for suspects or victims as soon as possible, and everything just ramps up even more. One thing that fits square in with all those things I mentioned are police pursuits. Out of all the things I enjoy the most about my job, it's a good pursuit. It's extremely fast-paced, it's very interesting to listen to, and chances are you're going to give some help in catching a bad guy. But even as fun as they can be, they're very dangerous for everyone involved. Officers trained at high-speed emergency driving have to not only keep their eyes on the suspect, but every other car around them. The suspect, a lot of times, they have zero regard for anyone else's safety but their own. So that makes it dangerous for anyone that's out there around them once the pursuit reaches those high speeds and this untrained suspect is weaving in and out of lanes or driving the wrong way on a roadway. The results of these pursuits can be both exhilarating and tragic. And you'll hear a bit of all of that on this episode. Welcome back to Music City 911.
Sheriff Dispatch, Michelle speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, Michelle. This is I'm calling from Store 200 at the Pilot Travel Center at Kramer Junction.
Hi.
Hey, I just called a little while ago and reported, the Amber Alert that was on for yesterday? With a little girl and her dad.
What's the address you called for?
The address is 5725 Highway 58.
1 second. Okay, I see your call. What's going on?
I'm sorry?
I see your call. What's going on?
I think it's the girl and I think it's the dad. They're going towards Barstow right now.
Okay.
I have a picture of the little girl that was in the front. She came in and got 2 sodas from me. And then number 8 and the guest came to me and told me it's the same Nissan Frontier and everything. They faked like they were going down south on the 395 and they turned around. And you can see him going in front of our cameras. And he said he ended up going east of 58 towards Barstow.
I'm going to have to back up a bit on this one since it started a pretty good ways before this call came in. Almost 2 years ago in September of 2022, 45-year-old Anthony Graziano was about a month into a separation that was leading to divorce with his wife, Tracy Martinez, who was also 45 years old. During the separation, they were living apart from each other. On September 26th, a little after 7:30 a.m., police got a report of shots fired at the Cypress Elementary School that is situated between Long Beach and Anaheim, just south of Los Angeles in California. After arriving at the scene, they discovered Tracy Martinez shot several times. She was still alive, but barely hanging on. Before being transported to a hospital, she told police she knew who shot her: her husband, Anthony Graziano. After arriving at the hospital, doctors did everything they could, but Tracy died from those multiple gunshots. Back at the scene of the shooting, police started questioning those who were there and find out that not only did Anthony shoot Tracy, he likely shot at a van that had a man and a child inside. Keep in mind that this was right in the middle of the time to drop off kids at the school, so there were people everywhere. This could have been a lot worse than it was. After looking around for more evidence and asking more people for info, they found some. One parent had cell phone video of the suspect's vehicle, a white 2017 Nissan Frontier pickup truck with a toolbox and a black rack in the back. Another video was picked up from a security camera, and what was on that was pretty shocking. In the back seat of the truck was a teenage girl. That girl was Trace and Anthony's daughter, 15-year-old Savannah Graziano. She had witnessed her mother being killed. Believing Savannah was abducted and in a very dangerous situation, police immediately issued an Amber Alert. Anthony was described as either a male white or male Hispanic, around 5 foot 4 inches tall and weighing around 150 pounds. He was considered armed and dangerous. Savannah was described in the alert as being 5'2", with brown hair and eyes. The tag on the suspect vehicle was also listed as California tag 4305 G as in George 2. The alert was put out by California Highway Patrol in a number of counties, including San Bernardino, Kern, Riverside, and Los Angeles. The suspect was on the run, and everyone was looking for him. But especially, they were looking for Savannah. The 911 call we just heard was the sighting police needed. They got his location and the direction he was heading, probably out further in the desert towards Barstow. But one peculiar thing stuck out when police arrived to talk with the caller. They watched the security camera videos from inside the store. Savannah was casually walking around inside, alone, and walked to the counter and paid for 2 sodas. She didn't at all look distressed. Just a few minutes after the 911 came in, police spot a white Nissan Frontier running at a high rate of speed on Highway 58, then exited to get onto Interstate 15.
Hey, sir, are you approaching Linwood?
I'm sorry, can I?
Are you approaching the Linwood exit?
Yeah, that's a firm.
Yeah, there's a white pickup truck probably doing 100 miles an hour east.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to catch up to. It's Nissan Frontier.
Hey, Kimmy, step it up. He's going to be about a half mile in front of you.
Sam 1, number 3 lane, straddling number 4, still trying to catch up to it. Coming up on OCD. And speeds are over 113. And Sam 1, if I could get a CHP unit, maybe has a charger to keep up to them.
All right, copy. They were advised. They didn't give me their locations on where they were.
When officers finally catch up to the white Nissan Frontier, something is put out over the radio no dispatcher likes hearing.
Shots fired, shots fired.
I copy. Shots fired.
Taking rounds. Shots fired. Oh, shots fired.
I copy. Taking rounds.
Still northbound, number 1. Watch out, watch out, watch out. K9, are you okay? I got to check on K9. He's off in the desert. Advise your status. Number 1 lane, still northbound. Correction, southbound.
K9 5, shots fired. Code 4.
Give me an airship and some additional units. Still southbound, number 1 lane.
Shots were being taken from inside the truck at pursuing deputies, and they were very accurate for the speed that was being driven. I've watched dozens of videos of suspects shooting at pursuing officers, and their rounds very rarely find their mark. This time, more than one police vehicle was hit, both of them several times, one of the officers inside taking shrapnel from one of the bullets. California Highway Patrol and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department both had helicopters up and were requested to where the pursuit was happening. It took a little bit for them to get there, but did manage to get overhead and keep the truck in sight. The pursuit continues with the CHP helicopter overhead. The next clip is pretty hectic and difficult to hear, being that they have to monitor more than one radio channel at a time.
But they are in pursuit of
18 day before, were they getting shot with a rifle or a handgun?
So we're looking at that white guy.
White truck affirmative.
Right, number 2 lane.
2 lane, correct.
Copy, we're 10-8. Advise our units to stay out of it.
Right shoulder, passing the car carrier.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Yes, sir. Do you guys want us to try shutting down the freeway? 15 south over by 11.
Just slow down here.
I'm going to concentrate
on the perimeter
starting
on the
his
side
shoulder again.
And just be careful, keep your head down.
information for students. Report a shot to Sergeant 15. Alpha Drive.
We'll wait for him to see if he's committed southbound still.
You need the binos, Jeremy?
Let them know I'm,
ICS volume.
if you can, let them know I'm recording.
Ridgeville H82.
Further to station KM 46. Go ahead.
Ridgeville H82, we're overhead. We have the camera on the suspect. We're recording audio and volume.
Camera on the suspect, recording audio and video.
Oh wait, coming up. He's going to his shoulder.
He's coming up to the shoulder for the suspect.
Hey, bye.
Okay. Where are we at here?
Dale. Passing Dale.
Tension is already at a crazy level. A pursuit of a father suspected of killing his wife, traveling with a possible abducted teen at speeds over 110 miles an hour, shots being fired at the police, and hitting their mark. But the next bit of info relayed from both the ground units and the helicopter is both crucial and confusing.
Trailing over the overpass a half mile north of North Stoddard.
Suspect vehicle southbound passing North Stoddard now.
H82, number 1 lane, crossing over North Stoddard.
Team Paul 24, suspect vehicles in the number 1 lane, southbound 15, just fired a shot out the passenger window.
And we're getting...
Still shooting, he's still firing.
Actively firing out of the driver's side window.
Officers on the ground pursuing the white truck reported that shots were being fired out of the passenger window, with an air unit directly overhead advising that there were more shots coming from the driver's side. Unless this 5'4" tall suspect has the longest arms ever, I would believe it would be nearly impossible for him to be firing shots out of the passenger side window at police cars while they were traveling behind him, let alone do so with any accuracy while he was driving. As shots were being fired, a citizen in a vehicle captured some of the rounds being popped off on his dash cam. After the entire incident was over, the driver of the vehicle with the dash cam was interviewed by police asking what he saw.
I flipped the video, and then that's when I caught the back end of him. And then I didn't expect a gun to pop out shooting at me or at the cops, but it kind of looked like he was aiming at me. I mean, I don't know.
What part of the car did you see the gun come out of?
The passenger, right at passenger side, right here. Right out the side. It was just leaning out, just open fire.
And was it the driver or was it someone else in the car?
It must have been someone else because someone was still driving the truck.
Confirmed by deputies on the ground and this person that shots were being fired from the passenger side. Just seconds after those, the air unit reports shots being fired out of the driver's side. Authorities are still investigating this bit and haven't put out anything official on it yet, but it seems that 15-year-old Savannah may have been helping her dad shoot at police. That would explain how the shots being fired were hitting their target so easily. As I said before, pretty difficult to hit a moving police car from a vehicle going over 100 miles an hour while driving. The pursuit continues, approaching the Main Street exit of Interstate 15, approaching Victorville, California.
Just be advised the traffic's coming to a dead stop up here. There's going to be way too much backdrop for us to engage if he does end up exiting and making contact with you guys. If he gets in the desert. Hey, both like you, I got y'all. He's leaving and then the traffic actually firing. Dude, he's just out. He pulls off. He's making a U-turn. Left orbit. He's exiting at main, but he's using the on-ramp to exit no wrong way. Watch these deputies. Hey, deputies, he's coming right at you on the exit. Hey, you guys, he's going to lose control here as he goes up that embankment. Do we have units on Bear Valley? He's stalling out. All right, dude. Get the 140, dude. Everybody's got a rifle. Dude. Let me know when open an open door. You're clear. I'm going to be said that. He's on fire. Units back up. Take some cover. Take some cover. We have zero backdrop on the southbound lanes. Take your cover. Put out that shots are being fired. Shots are fired. Shots are fired. Continue to shoot at the deputy. Girls out. Alright, girls out, guys. Female Juvie is out. She's out on the passenger side. Does anyone else have eyes in the vehicle to see if we have any other passengers? Oh, no. You guys watch your backdrop. You guys on the exit, watch your backdrop for cross freeway traffic. Watch your crossfire, guys.
The white truck stopped just past the Main Street exit and then started going the wrong way up the entrance ramp. When Anthony saw police awaiting him there, he tried to go up a steep dirt and grass embankment to get around the police. The truck lost traction and he didn't make it all the way up the hill. He went backwards, back down towards the interstate where more shots were fired from inside the truck. Officers returned fire. In the middle of all that, the 15-year-old passenger gets out of the truck. While officers there didn't have body-worn cameras, at least one officer was wearing what's called a belt recorder, which is an audio recorder that's attached to his belt. Audio from the massive shootout was captured, starting just before Savannah got out of the truck.
Passenger, get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Hey! 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 Come here! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come! 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 Walk! 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 Hey! Stop! Stop shooting her! He's in the car! Stop! She's okay! He's in the car! Stop!
With all that was going on, it was difficult to tell what was happening. The officer was calling Savannah over to him, trying to get her out of the main area where the shots were being fired, which is coming from different sides of the truck, both on the entrance ramp and from the interstate. She's seen from video from the helicopter getting out of the vehicle, wearing tactical gear and a helmet, walking a few feet from the truck, then laying down. She then gets up again and starts walking towards the officer, where she then falls to the ground. She had been shot. Early in the investigation, it wasn't certain if her dad had shot her or if it was the police. Recently, police have said that she was struck from one of their own guns. What's still under investigation is if she was caught by one or more poorly aimed bullets, or if she was directly fired upon because it looked as if she was advancing towards the officers. At this point, all the firing had ceased, and officers approached the truck as well as Savannah. Anthony Graziano was declared deceased at the scene, having been shot multiple times. Savannah was rushed to a local hospital, where she also later passed. As I've said before, even though this all happened over a year and a half ago, the entire incident is still under investigation. Why are so many dogs suffering from health issues? Actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to improve any dog's health: their food. What she discovered is that the way many dog foods are made can actually create toxins that could be wrecking our dog's health. And this is true even for many premium brands. Fortunately, she found that by adding just a few special superfoods to her dog's food, she saw huge transformations in their health. She's made a 20-minute video explaining step by step how anyone can do this same thing to see incredible changes in their dog's health. If you want to keep your dog healthy and happy, go to badlandsfood.com/MC911 and watch Catherine's video right now. Again, that's badlandsfood.com/MC911.
911. What's the location of your emergency?
I'm actually calling for a friend. I'm down the street from her house. She lives on Shady Wood. Her and her daughter are there. They're in danger. This guy, he's threatening to kill her. He almost did try to kill her last night, she said, and I'm just really worried, and I don't know what to do.
I'm going to let my officers know and have them head out there to do a welfare check on the location and see what's going on and just see how...
to help you guys out, I'm pretty sure he has warrants. Like, he's like a really bad person. Like, so I don't know if that helps you, but...
Okay.
Once you guys probably catch him, he's going to have warrants. You know what I mean?
Okay. We'll go ahead and let one of the officers know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was a clip from a 911 call that came into dispatch for the Lathrop Police Department in California just before noon on January 27th of this year. A lot of that call was cut out, but overall, it sounded like a pretty bad situation there, with someone threatening to and possibly trying to kill the caller's friend. She also said that the suspect had warrants, but didn't say what those were for. The suspect name also wasn't given in the call. When police got over there, 2 women were standing in the street, the caller and the friend that she was calling for. We'll pick up there with audio from the body cam of one of the officers.
Why are you guys running from John?
Psychotic. He needs help.
Here, come back here.
He tried to kill me last night.
Here, come back here. Let me talk to this guy. Hey, does John have any weapons right now?
No, well, yeah, there's probably knives and stuff in the house.
Does John carry a gun? Hey, John. What's going on right now?
He will fight back. Be careful.
Hey, Tino, stop that car if he takes off.
Copy 20.
Good.
Boy, we have one taken off. 20 is going to be an 8, David, Williams, 589, gold colored Nissan Versa. It's going to be the male half.
The officers there start very briefly talking to the ladies who were involved in this. They ask if the suspect, who they called John, had any weapons. They then see the suspect exit the house and get into a vehicle, a smaller Nissan sedan. He backs out of the driveway and takes off. I say he takes off, but it's only as fast as the tiny car can manage.
We're heading south on Jasper, back to Shady Wood. Slow traffic, doing about 30.
Southbound Jasper.
They all drive around a couple of the blocks in the neighborhood and arrive back in front of the original house. At this point, the suspect stops, hangs his arm out the window, and starts yelling at the women and the police that were there. After a few seconds, he decided he didn't want to stick around, and he continued attempting to evade the police at speeds of around 30 miles an hour.
Turn the car off now! I'm gonna get your 40.
3.13, CMC wants to know what the lawn is.
Hey, where's your 40, dude?
We're trying to figure it out right now.
Turn your car off. Here's the verbal. Turn your car off. The X in the middle half.
extremely uncooperative. We're stopped back in front of the two.
I'll be back in front of the milk and cooperative.
Boy 13, we're taking off again. We're going westbound on Shadywood.
Copy, westbound Shadywood.
Northbound Havenwood.
Tried to show some last night. And we're going to be going westbound Castlewood. 15. Copy, westbound Castlewood. Northbound Rosewood. Taking off now, no steps in traffic.
The pursuit lasted several minutes, almost 20 in total, but with him driving around the neighborhood, the same area most of the time, the pursuit didn't go that far. Only about 3 miles away when it finished. We'll continue with the chase as he speeds up a little bit, turning under an interstate overpass, and he starts driving the wrong way into oncoming traffic.
And stand by for the next turn. We're going to go westbound on Rock. And he's going the wrong way for a second here. Copy westbound Rock, and we have B3 unit that was 21. Boy 13 with his vehicle. We're going to be on southbound 5 on-ramp from Roth Road. Copy, southbound I-5 from Roth.
Boy 13, his tires coming apart.
While under the overpass driving the wrong way, he decides he wants to turn around, but he continued with his very slow style of driving. It gave the officers time to get over to him, where they attempted a pit maneuver on the vehicle, slamming the rear of the driver's side tire into the curb and damaging the passenger side as well. He managed to get away from that attempted pit maneuver, and on his way towards the interstate on-ramp, he nearly hits the other officer pursuing him. Once he gets on the interstate, that driver's side rear tire is having all sorts of problems. The car is nearly driving sideways a couple times before the tire finally blows completely, making the car unable to drive. There were several cars pulled to the side of the interstate, where the suspect then abandons his Nissan Versa and tries to carjack another car that was sitting there.
Across towards the median, trying to carjack somebody.
He's supposed to lead in their state of covering once the DOT.
He's trying to carjack a victim vehicle, holding on.
Are you trying to carjack the victim vehicle? What's the description?
It was a bit difficult to hear on that, but the video showed what happened, and it was pretty crazy. After hopping out of his own car, he runs towards the nearest car to him and tries to open the driver's side door. To the luck of the driver, the door was locked. Obviously frightened, the driver of that car pulls away at a rapid pace, trying to get away from his carjacker. But the suspect managed to stay with the vehicle by hanging on to the outside of it. The vehicle drives at least 1/10 of a mile, if not more, with the suspect hanging sideways off the left side of the car, with the car going probably upwards of 40 or 50 miles an hour at its highest rate before coming to a stop. After the vehicle stopped, the suspect regained his footing and ran around to the passenger side door and tries to open it too, with the officer exiting his patrol vehicle and running over towards him.
Shot, dude! Hey, you're gonna get shot! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Shots fired, shots fired.
Don't move! Sir. Don't move! Bro, why did you shoot me?
Move forward!
Behind your back.
EMS code 3, R5 South, just south of Louise. Yeah, I'm gonna get the iPad. We are rendering first aid.
When attempting to open the passenger's door, officers ordered them to stop, and the order was given as, "Stop or I'll shoot." And that's exactly what happened. The officer shot the suspect one time, with the bullet entering the right side of his chest and exiting, then passing through his arm. Officer started immediately rendering aid to the suspect, putting a chest seal on him. He was still awake and alert, but was having trouble breathing well. To my knowledge, the suspect was unarmed. Some might ask why police would shoot at someone like this who doesn't have a weapon. The answer to this is in the Supreme Court case, Tennessee versus Garner, that highlighted a police shooting that happened in Memphis way back in 1974. Police were called to the scene of a burglary. When they got there, they found 15-year-old Edward Garner running away and trying to hop a fence. Officers also ordered him to stop running, which he didn't do, and the officer shot at Garner, hitting him in the back of the head and killing him. Edward Garner was unarmed. Edward's father filed a court case that managed to weave its way up the court ladder and found its way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where they found that deadly force is not applicable in the case of simply a fleeing suspect. So the shooting of Edward Garner was unjust. But the court gave a caveat that deadly force may be used to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect only if the officer has a good faith belief that the suspect poses a significant threat of death or serious physical injury to officers or others. The suspect in our incident had already had a violent encounter at the house the whole thing started out in. Then after leaving his disabled car, he tried to carjack an uninvolved motorist. I believe the officer saw that as a significant threat to that uninvolved party. Back to our call, the suspect was down and being detained while police were giving him aid. A passing private ambulance stopped and helped with the medical care of the suspect. He was transported to a local hospital and later released into police custody, where he had multiple charges. California Highway Patrol is independently investigating both the carjacking incident as well as the police shooting to see if it was justified. Early on in this incident, I say police called the suspect John, but that's not how his name is spelled. It's spelled Juan. It's spelled like Juan. And his last name is Valdez. Yes, Juan Valdez. I know what you might be thinking.
Look for the symbol of 100% Colombian coffee, handpicked by Juan Valdez, the richest coffee in the world.
No, this guy is definitely not the Colombian coffee farmer Juan Valdez. That was a fictional character. But if that Juan Valdez wasn't fictional, I have a feeling he wouldn't have gone through all this mess that John Valdez did. This Juan Valdez was charged with felony carjacking, felony false imprisonment, felony evasion, felony resisting arrest, and committing a felony while out on release / parole for a prior felony. I believe he'll be sitting in a jail cell for a pretty long while. That's it for this one. If you're looking for some new threads, it'd be a pretty good time to run over to MusicCity911.com and hit that shop button. I've just updated the merch store with a lot of goodies that have the newer logo on them. So if you're in the need of a new t-shirt, tank top, hoodie, or even a crop hoodie, or you want something else like a coffee mug or a cell phone case for your iPhone or Samsung phone, go to MusicCity911.com and look for the shop button. There's also still some of the older designs on there. Feel free to share the show with anyone you know that might like to listen in, and follow the show on all social media platforms. All the links for those are provided in the show notes. Until next time, from Music City 911, I'm Brandon, and y'all have a good one.